Okay, well, that's great. Anyway, it's so wonderful to see all of you here. I've been wanting to get us all back together who worked on the GEA, and finally it's happened. And thanks to Lee Johnson and Mickey Yu and Sunny Wang for really making this possible. All of the excellent organization comes from those fine folks. I just want to, for those of you who weren't coordinating lead authors of this report, I just want to give you a little bit of a sense of what it was like to participate in this. I remember back in 2008, Naki gave me a call, and he said, we are in the middle of doing the global energy assessment, and we've decided that we need a chapter on carbon capture and storage, and would you be willing to do that? And I said, well, let me think about it, what would be involved? And he said that would be a number of meetings in Vienna and so forth. And so I finally said yes, and I began to participate in the process. And it was really fabulous. There were a group of us, about 30 coordinating leader authors in the leadership of the team that would meet on a regular basis in the beautiful Luxembourg Castle outside of Vienna. And there we would grapple with all kinds of issues about global energy needs and opportunities. And in particular, for me, it was quite influential because, like many of us, when I was thinking about the energy challenge, I really looked at it through primarily an environmental lens and was very concerned about global warming and air quality and so forth. But through participating in this process, a number of other really important areas became clear. Energy access in the developing world, the billions of people who lack access to electricity or modern cooking fuels, we need to change that. Also, just how important it is for energy to be affordable, and also how inequalities in the energy system from one country to another lead to significant economic impacts associated with that as well. So it was important to be competitive, to have energy prices that were comparable to those elsewhere in the world. Another issue is we want the energy system to be profitable for the industries who engage in it, otherwise investments won't follow. Also issues about energy, national, local, global security were part of the assessment, and we got to hear a lot about that, and that again really opened my eyes. And then finally, coming full circle to the environmental issues. And through this process, I really came to believe that we really had no hope to address the global energy challenges unless we simultaneously addressed all of these issues. Because if we tried to take a piecemeal approach, someone was always going to be quite unhappy, and in that, it was going to be difficult to get the kind of consensus and investment and clear path forward that we needed. So for me, this was a real eye-opener. And I appreciate Naki and Thomas Johansson and those of you who are here, as well as all those who are not here with us. I'll briefly say something about your host for this event. This is hosted by the Precourt Institute for Energy here at Stanford University. The Institute has 3 primary goals. First, to create game-changing energy technologies. I'll say briefly a bit more about that in a minute. Second, to accelerate sustainable energy solutions through partnership with government and industry and NGOs. And then finally, we are a university, and increasing energy literacy both within the campus community as well as beyond is an important part of our mission. And today, over 200 faculty out of the 1,700 faculty have some portion of their research related to energy issues. And very interestingly, all 7 schools are represented, even including the medical school, covering 22 different departments across the university. I will say this has been a remarkable change, really building over the past 10 years under the leadership of Professor Lynn Orr, who started the Global Climate and Energy Project and then later started the Precourt Institute for Energy. And Chris Edwards, who's sitting over here, was also really instrumental in the formation of the Global Climate and Energy Project, which has been so important to us here at the university. Just a little honeycomb of showing the kind of expertise and interests we have. We have work going on in policy, economics, and politics, including things like tax regulation, public opinion. We also work on trying to make fossil fuel use cleaner and find more clean fossil fuels. So we do work in the area of advanced combustion, CO2 capture, CO2 storage, as well as have a very significant program in the area of shale gas recovery. Also very interested in energy impacts, climate change science, air quality, water quality, integrated assessment modeling to pull all that together. And then moving around the circle, we also have a center, the Precourt Energy Efficiency Center, led by Professor Jim Sweeney, that has a very strong emphasis on behavior. Why is it that people don't do what's in their own best interest with regard to saving energy? We also have a very large effort in the area of renewable energy conversion, lots of work in photovoltaics, some work in solar thermal, lots of effort in solar fuels, catalysis, and so forth. And then finally, the School of Engineering has a tremendously strong materials program to create the next generation of energy materials. So that's the constellation of the kind of things going on here. And really what makes a university, a great university, is great students. And the students have really voted with their feet tremendously strong activities related to energy, including a number of clubs. Actually, one of the most impressive things, the Stanford Energy Club actually started a journal, a completely student-led journal called the Stanford Energy Journal. That's available online. They participate in the solar car project. They're entering the solar decathlon this year, the objective being to make a zero net energy building that is affordable and replicable. And finally, just as a highlight of a recent set of activities, we actually had an Energy Week here at Stanford just a month ago with an energy showcase highlighting all the student activities. A forum we call Connecting the Dots that highlighted the intersections between water, energy, food, human health, and so forth. We had a sustainability fair. Al Gore came and gave a lecture about the challenges of creating action on climate change. And then finally, entrepreneurism is such a strong thread that runs through the university. And we had an energy pitch working with the VC community to evaluate what some of the best ideas were. So with that very brief introduction, I'd like to thank all of you for participating in the West Coast launch of the Global Energy Assessment. The way we've set up this event is a little bit unusual. The plan is to have blocks of talks that correspond to each of the major 4 theme areas of the GEA. And we'll have 2 or 3 speakers, I think in one case 4 speakers. And then we've invited discussants from the community, the local community in California, the academic community, the NGO community, to respond to what they've heard. And they've been doing a lot of work, they've read the materials, and they'll be creating sort of a provocative dialogue about the contents of the GEA. So we think that will be lots of fun. And then we'll have about a 40-minute session where we can have hopefully a lively conversation about the materials that are provided. So that's the plan for the next day and a half. And again, thanks so much for being here, and I really look forward to the conversation. So thank you.